Good morning, this is Greg Jarbo. We're here at Search Engine Strategies London. It's day 3, and I'm talking with John Marshall, who's the CTO at Market Motive. John, welcome.
Good morning, thank you.
So you've been speaking on a couple of the sessions. Tell us about what you've been talking about.
I was privileged to be on a panel that I've not participated in before, and it was researching search user behavior. And the other 3 panelists were presenting data from ComScore and these sort of aggregated services that give you this very big picture view of what's going on on the internet. My bias, my thing, as you probably know, is web analytics and what's going on your website. And I actually used an example of how you can get data from a web analytics tool and use that as a sort of a proxy for what's going on the internet. And the reason that's cool is for many companies, they actually can't afford to buy the data from ComScore. I mean, it's very expensive to buy that data, or Hitwise, you know, they offer a similar service. It's really expensive to buy that data. And the technique which I presented, you can actually get good information for free. Completely free, yeah.
Free's a good price.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to beat. Yeah, and it's not a huge secret. I mean, really, all I demonstrated was using the site search analysis, where you've got a search box in your website. People type something into that. The data that you get out of that is quite a good indicator of what people are looking for back on the search engine. But of course, the data you get from the search engine suffers from what's called sample bias, where you only see the data for people who came to your website, and it's not really representative of the broader activity. So instead, by using the search box, you kind of get a little bit more of a high-level view. And it was great, actually. It was a really good presentation. My fellow speakers were superb, actually, really good. There was a gentleman from Bunnyfoot who presented eye tracking data. And, that is fascinating when you see that. If you've never seen eye tracking results, I encourage you to see that. Inquirer also does eye tracking, very good stuff. So it was great.
I'm Greg Jarbo. It's day 3 of Search Engine Strategies London, and if we're seated, it's because it's day 3 of the show. But I'm interviewing Amanda Watlington, who is speaking at several sessions here this week.
Yes, I am. I've just finished yesterday speaking about blogs and feed SEO, and then on podcasts and audio. And it was a podcast in video search. It was very interesting session. Both sessions were packed. We had a lot of very good questions, and we had, in the blog session, there were a lot of individuals who have blogs, which is interesting for me particularly because I've been talking about blogs now for several years. And when you survey the audience, you say, who has a blog? It's gone from being 2 or 3 hands to universal hands. It has shifted. Now we ask how many people do videography. Very few raise their hands. I think in 2 or 3 years we're going to see a whole lot more hands. So it's kind of an evolving, and it's been fun watching it evolve. But I've been busy tracking on both of those segments. I should say all 3 because I do pod, audio, and video for the last couple of years. So when Google introduced universal search, it was for me a really exciting, because it really brought a lot of my interest to the forefront, which is, as the tagline for my business, searching for profit. We say, searching for profit, that it only counts if they find you. And when I say find you, I mean find anything you have. Everything on the website is a digital asset. And really, as SEOs, I've been in the last 6 months thinking about what we are as SEOs. We are not just, quote, search engine optimization specialists. We are digital asset managers in a different sort of way. We're digital asset managers who manage a company's digital assets as they live and breathe in search, as they are available for finding through search. And since search is the piping, if you will, for information, we essentially manage those assets. And that's been one of my focuses on Universal.
In November, we launched an accreditation program, rather like the Google Advertising Professional Exam and the Yahoo Ambassador program. And what it is it's basically a suite of education and learning materials where advertisers new to Ad Center can go and learn about what the Ad Center is and how to get started on the paid search platform, but also for current advertisers that may potentially be missing a trick over some of the cool tools and targeting functionality that Ad Center has. Now, the thing about it is, no matter how long you've been in search or search advertising, I've been doing this for 8 years, there's always something new to learn. And I remember when Google came out with their Google Advertising Professional Exam, I thought, well, let's give this a crack and let's see. And I did actually get quite a few kind of aha moments where I thought I knew it all, but actually there are a few things that these educational materials and the ones now we've got on adexcellence.com can give you, an idea that there is actually a little bit more to the platform, and it's all about helping advertisers help themselves get better ROI for themselves or their clients.
A lot of things have happened over the last couple of days. Have you been able to put it into any context or see any trends?
I do, and it comes from the Orion panels on the first day, where we had Frederick Marchini talking about how we have to respond differently to people, and how we have to respond. The whole nature of search is changing, and then of course universal search, which is changing has changed all the rules that we have to play by. And so what I'm seeing is that there is more of an influence on emerging tactics that really are off page, namely social media marketing. We had a whole track called Organic and Beyond. Didn't have anything to do with my company Beyond Inc., but I take the brand anyway. And during that track, we took apart in 5 sessions all the necessary elements: news, video, images, podcasts, and did an overview on social media. And I think that here in the UK, it's really an emerging thing, but it's not fully developed, or if you could say that, for something that's only a year or two old, as it is in the U.S. And so it's been really interesting to watch people come to grips with that and understand that their off-page factors are looming as much more important now as other ways to market. It's not just about the engines.